The Fire Within. The story of a relentless dreamer. Arjun was born in a remote village in Rajasthan, India, where opportunities were scarce and traditions dictated one's future. His father, a dedicated schoolteacher, earned a modest income, while his mother ensured the household ran smoothly despite their financial struggles. From the age of 5, Arjun showed an uncommon curiosity. He would dismantle old radios, fascinated by the intricate circuits inside, and dreamt of becoming an engineer. However, the nearest school with proper facilities was 20 kilometers away, and he had to walk miles each day just to receive an education. By the time he turned 16, he was excelling in academics, particularly in science and mathematics. Encouraged by his father, he applied for a government scholarship, and to his family's joy, he secured a place at a prestigious engineering college in Mumbai at the age of 18. Arriving in the bustling metropolis was overwhelming. The towering skyscrapers, crowded streets, and never-ending rush were a stark contrast to his quiet village. The scholarship covered tuition, but Arjun had to take on part-time jobs to afford food and rent. Working late nights at a call center and studying during the day became his new reality. Arjun stood on the balcony of his tiny apartment, staring at the city lights flickering like distant dreams. He had come to this city with nothing but hope and a stubborn belief that he was meant for something greater. But life had other plans. Rejections, failures, sleepless nights filled with doubt. He had faced them all. His dreams of building something extraordinary seemed to slip further away with each passing day. His bank account was dwindling, and so was the patience of those around him. "Why don't you just settle for something realistic?" his friends would ask. Maybe it's time to accept that not everyone can succeed. But deep inside, Arjun knew the truth. He couldn't quit, not because he was arrogant, but because something inside him refused to let go of the vision he had nurtured since childhood. He wasn't just chasing success. He was proving to himself that he was worthy of the dream. One night, he sat at his desk, staring at his journal filled with unfinished ideas. His fingers trembled as he wrote a simple sentence: "One more try." That night, he worked, and then he worked some more. He stopped listening to doubters and started listening to that quiet voice inside him, the voice that whispered, "Keep going." Years passed. 5, then 10. Days turned into months, months into years. The road remained tough, but he refused to stop. Each failure became a lesson, each rejection a redirection. He adapted, he learned, he persisted. The nights of struggle were countless. There were times he questioned everything, standing in front of his mirror, wondering if he had been foolish to believe in himself. But he pushed forward, waking up before dawn, burning through long hours, sacrificing comfort for progress. The people around him moved on. Some settled, some found stability in their choices. But Arjun was different. He had seen a vision too vivid to ignore. He knew that regret was far heavier than failure, and the thought of giving up haunted him more than any struggle ever could. Then, after nearly a decade of struggle, came the hardest year of his life. Doors continued to shut, opportunities remained out of reach, and exhaustion weighed on him like an iron chain. His savings depleted, his body weakened, and his faith wavered. But he still whispered those same words: "One more try." Arjun took on odd jobs, working late nights just to afford the resources he needed to fuel his passion. He read endlessly, refining his craft, sharpening his skills. He learned not just to work harder, but smarter. He pivoted his approach, found new strategies, and built connections that aligned with his ambitions. One day, he encountered a mentor, an older businessman who had once walked the same path of struggle. This mentor saw the fire in Arjun's eyes and took him under his wing, offering guidance, resources, and most importantly, belief. With his help, Arjun refined his ideas, gained insights into business strategies, and began to turn his vision into reality. Arjun expanded his network, met like-minded individuals, and soon, his work started attracting attention. The small sparks he had kindled over the years finally erupted into flames. He launched his first successful project, and with it came the validation that he had so desperately sought. But even success didn't come easily. He faced betrayal from people he trusted, financial setbacks that nearly broke him, and moments where the pressure felt unbearable. However, he remembered his own words. One more try. And then, nearly 15 years after he first set foot in Mumbai, at the age of 33, it happened. The opportunity he had been preparing for arrived. The doors that had once slammed shut in his face slowly started to open. His work gained recognition, his ideas took shape, and the world that once doubted him now watched in awe. He remembered the countless sleepless nights, the days he spent wondering if his sacrifices were worth it. Now, standing before a reality he had built with his own hands, he knew they had been. At 33, Arjun had built a thriving business empire with investments in multiple sectors, including technology and real estate. His net worth had surpassed $50 million, and he owned several properties, luxury cars, and a state-of-the-art headquarters for his company. One of the first things he did after achieving success was to return to his village and build a new home for his parents, ensuring they never had to struggle again. He established a foundation in their honor, funding education for underprivileged children, just as he once had needed help. Seeing the pride in his father's eyes and the tears of joy in his mother's gave him a sense of fulfillment far beyond any financial gain. But the real success was not in the recognition or the money. It was in the man he had become, someone who refused to bow to doubt, someone who had walked through the fire and emerged stronger. Standing in front of a crowd at an event honoring his achievements, Arjun smiled. He thought back to all those nights of struggle and whispered to himself, "One more try was all it took." Later that evening, as he walked home, he looked at the city lights again. They no longer seemed distant. They were now reflections of a reality he had carved out for himself. But he wasn't done yet. The fire within still burned. Arjun knew his journey wasn't over. Success wasn't a destination. It was a constant evolution. He had built resilience, developed a mindset of unshakable determination, and now he was unstoppable. The world had taken notice, but what mattered most was that he had proven to himself what he had always known. He was destined for greatness. And that is the secret. Not talent, not luck, just the willingness to give it one more try. As he continued his journey, he made it his mission to help others who were struggling like he once had. He mentored young dreamers, shared his experiences, and showed them that persistence was the key to transformation. The cycle of resilience continued, and through his story, many others found the courage to take that next step. Because in the end, the greatest success is not just achieving your dreams, but inspiring others to believe in theirs. Moral of the story: the difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's the ability to keep going when everything tells you to stop. Never underestimate the power of persistence.